Hello and welcome to the Department of Deportation podcast, the DEPODcast, where you can get all your latest news on immigration, the border, and deportations. Don't forget to visit DepartmentOfDeportation.com for all your latest news and merch. On this episode, we're going to be taking a close look at Mahmoud Khalil. He's a Palestinian-born activist that was a Columbia University student, and he was a negotiator for a lot of the violent protests that took place on the campus there. He's also the head of some of the divest movements at Columbia University, and it appears that he might even be a Hamas supporter. Well, regardless of his credentials, he's going to be doing it outside of the country most likely. And his green card appears to be in the process of being revoked. So, just some quick background. Mahmoud, the Palestinian-born activist, was deeply entrenched in the 2024 violent riots that swept Columbia, where they were occupying multiple buildings. I can't even show a lot of the videos because it would get my channel banned. It's that violent. This guy negotiated on behalf of those scumbags, and he was a big part of the divest movement that was at Columbia too, which is deeply anti-Semitic. Of course, the disruption at campus and the threats to Jewish students didn't stop in 2024, and also occurred on the first day of classes this year too. So, a couple days ago, news broke that he had been arrested and detained, and he was going to be processed for removal from the country. He was going to have his student visa and his green card revoked. Some people were big mad, including Rashida Tlaib, who had this really ignorant post. Lots of people got arrested while protesting this, and hopefully some of them will even get deported as well. They even tried to question Karoline Leavitt at it, but she hit him back with the truth bomb.
So why has this not been acknowledged or highlighted even?
Because these colleges and these protests have again put out Hamas propaganda. The flyers that have been distributed call for violence. The flyers that have been distributed have the logo of an organization that has held Americans hostage, that murdered innocent babies, that murdered men, women, and children. They are a designated foreign terrorist organization, and we are not going to tolerate non-citizens, foreigners who come here on a visa engaging in such behavior, siding with terrorists. And the Secretary of State reserves the authority to revoke the green card or the visa of an individual who serves as an actually, it says right here, reasonable grounds to believe that the alien's presence or activities in the United States would have potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences to the United States. And I think siding with Hamas makes that quite clear. Secretary Rubio exercised that authority, and we fully believe that we are going to move forward with more arrests, as President Trump previewed in his statement yesterday.
Well, now we see that a judge has ordered that his deportation being on hold. We don't even know if this judge actually has authority, as he's been moved to Louisiana, and his SDNY office doesn't seem like the right place no matter what the situation. Also, the protesters have not stopped being violent, as we see them here in a video clip outside of the New York City courtroom where that judge is having his hearing. This is full-on rioting.
You're agitating. That's illegal. Get off of him. That is illegal.
Now, they are not to be confused with the protesters/rioters that were trying to push into Mayor Eric Adams' house the other day. Although it may be many of the same paid people. So, is this just any normal judge? Nope, it's an Obama-appointed activist judge with an activist wife and activist kids who have worked for politicians as interns. So that's exactly where it stands right now. It's anybody's guess as how it's going to proceed, but I don't think this judge is going to have authority to make major changes to this guy's deportation proceedings. Now, we also have to remember that this isn't even the first case like this happening. Over a month and a half ago, we had a Chinese national who was participating in protests and riots, and she got deported. This is what somebody reminded me of just yesterday. So, not only have they done this before, but it seems to comply with all these current legal theories. Another classic case of F around and find out. Well, that does it for this episode. Don't forget to like and share the video. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Instagram. And don't forget to visit DepartmentOfDeportation.com if you like any of the shirts that you see in the background. It helps support our channel, and it's some cool merch.